So I was called to help out with the scripting on this mission, and you see the player is grabbing the disguise there. I think this is stuff that I helped out with. Um, I actually don't remember all the fine-grained details of it, but I was in here helping write all this, the gameplay to bring this together. Um, this would come later in the project after kind of us taken a little bit to get acclimated to each other. We were all coming from the Quake mod scene. We had a guy who was really good at writing a custom AI bot for Quake, and then we had a guy who was into the machinima stuff and making all these cool uh, Quake animated sequences. Which involves a lot of like kind of hacking the system to get it to work. And then you had like pure deathmatch mappers. And the guy that made this level was very good at all this geometry stuff. When I looked at this, I was in awe of like how crafted this was and beautiful. But it wasn't picking up on the scripting so well, and so they called me to come and help on this. Sad thing about like how our expectations were was kind of like the level designer was supposed to be producer and of these levels and get all the animators on board and do all the assets, and a lot of us were just like kind of pure, more like left brain, right brain. You'd be on I think the right brain is the artsy fartsy side and could like do all this awesome work. And some of us were on the left side where like we had an AI guy who was like really super smart, but you wouldn't ask him to try and build a level and make something beautiful. He was just really, analytical and all that stuff. I landed somewhere like right in the middle, so I could muster up and build the world geometry, but it wasn't like this level was so awesome. And yeah, so we would learn each other's traits, and then like this was our very first game together. Some of us, the core group, had built a add-on pack, had worked on a couple of add-on packs, and so yeah, they had that. But yeah, so just wanted to show some more tids and bits from Medal of Honor. Here we have what looks like a tank drive mission. I was kind of doing some of this fancy organic terrain work on this one, and someone else did the scripting for it. This is Medal of Honor Spearhead before moving on to Call of Duty. Worked on this briefly. All this geometry looks like the same as it was when I created it. The cool thing about this was I was also experimenting with some scripting to this technology had a skybox where you could manipulate the camera. So in the background you can see a longer distance because the skybox was had part of the city in it, and I would build the level at a point and scale it down and understand that value of the scale was how much I needed to move the camera. So it was a really cool trick to make the world look a lot bigger. And it was really funny to put a German soldier inside of the box and have the big giant soldier in there. So, but this level, I was also often, I was really involved with trying to optimize and tweak the visibility and performance of levels. In this one, we had a lot of redundancy in textures that kind of looked the same, and so the memory use on this was really big. So I got to go through this whole thing and kind of make simplify the textures. And
Look for a plunger. We believe the enemy has the bridge
other than
wired
that, I
for
didn't
detonation.
do anything on this level. This one, same with this level, but I did do a little bit of, I think I did a lot of geometry with the terrain, trying to mix it up and make it look nice. I remember doing like the little paved road. Is this not? No, this is a different level. But Sniper Town, I remember like when you walk up the road and all that. There was a lot of trying to figure out how to make that performant, and I would come up with ways to hide visibility blockers behind trees and walls and block the visibility sight lines throughout the town to make it go. Here you have a spearhead level that I worked on. The geometry here is using the terrain system. Now in the first game I was kind of a rebel in not using the terrain. It was dynamically, the level of detail would be dynamic, so you would see the verts kind of swim as you got farther away, and you would do stuff like, if you didn't want the rocks to pop, you'd mark the spaces under those as don't be so aggressive with the LOD, and it was really hard to get it to line up with lighting. I think is what I had the most problems with. You would see like a lighting seam when the triangles didn't line up perfectly with the edges of buildings, and so I would be a rebel and use curved patches for stuff like snow and this. And in here I had it be foggy, and I was utilizing distance for visibility, and so I could get away with not having the greatest lighting on the terrain, and I felt like it looked really good for what I was doing. It's a foggy, snowy level.
It's a half mile up the road. Stay sharp.
So yeah, you can see more here. Like, there's a lot of terrain that's kind of like doing more stuff than my curved patches would have been, like this kind of straight, rolly, curved piece. So there's that, and then the very first mission, I created all this terrain space that we're driving on, and then all the way up to let's see. Yeah, all this stuff up here I helped out with the mountains and everything, and then inside I might have done a little bit of geometry work, but in this game we built this mission last, so we had all the tools that were up here and we knew how to build it. It came together really quick and ended up being one of the more presentable missions, and so that's really cool. I think that's it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed a look into the other pieces. I'm trying to sell myself as more of a coder programmer, but there was a lot of this way and that in those early games, and as we progressed through, we went through Call of Duties, and by the time we got to Modern Warfare 2, I don't think I really could claim any mission. It was like so spread thin. I was doing details of scripting and all that stuff, but in those early days we were kind of like focused on one mission per person, and as we progressed we developed like more teamwork within the missions, and so pretty cool. Thanks for watching.